Welcome back to the video. Today we are in the Open Gray League, and let's see if we can run this team. We're going to be trying out the Feraligatr paired with the Clodsire, and we're going to try it with the Drapion. Here we got the mirror matchup. We are going to just stay in and figure out if we are going to be able to win this lead. It is going to come down to a CAP tie. They do shield, so it looks like they do want the lead. We get them to shield twice, and now we have to deal with this Feraligatr loaded with a ton of energy. Hydro Cannon goes through, we can survive one. We're going to shield here so that we could potentially get to another move. They go and switch out into the Dunsparce. We're going to save that Drapion, and we're going to go into our Clodsire. Clodsire is going to be able to tank these draw runs, and the second draw run here will not KO, but it's going to do significant damage. We're going to go for this Earthquake. This Earthquake also gets them into the red, and we need to take this Dunsparce out, but not with a lot of health remaining. They are going to wait the clock later, and they're going to come in with their own Clodsire, so looks like we're going to be able to fire off a Earthquake. Earthquake does 60% to the Clodsire. Ooh, they do get a shield out of us. We force them to use some energy here. They're going to go for the Stone Edge, and we're going to come back in here with the Drapion, but we are energy dry. Our opponent is going to be able to get to this Hydro Cannon to take us out, so GG's to our opponents. Well played by them. Unfortunate for us, we were not able to close the game correctly. Okay, we got the Feraligatr versus the Gastrodon. We are going to stay in, and looks like they're going to fire off a Body Slam here. We are going to apply the pressure here, shielding once, going for this Hydro Cannon. It looks like they let it go. And we're going to have to let it go as well, because we survived the one Body Slam. They're going to go into their Wheezing. We have the Drapion. We're going to fire off an Aqua Tail. Aqua Tail does some good neutral damage. We're going to be able to get to another Aqua Tail before they get to their move. We're going to allow this to go through. It ends up being the Overheat, so they are debuffed, but it does some significant damage. They go for another Overheat, and we're just going to farm a ton of energy to try to catch a move. We're going to see the Wheezing come back in with the move. Overheat gets used again, so they're playing with the switch very well. Now they know we don't have Stone Edge. Stone Edge, unfortunately, would apply a lot of pressure. We're going to only be able to get to this Sludge. We're going to come back in here with the Feraligatr to grab this last shield, but unfortunately, they are going to be able to farm us down, so GG's to our opponent. We need to switch this up a little bit. We need Stone Edge Clodsire to protect against some of these flyers. So we're going to make that adjustment, and let's see if this is going to turn around the games. Definitely would have won that last game if we had the Stone Edge Clodsire. Okay, we're going to switch on to the Drapion. They're going to go into their Dugong. Dugong here, it's going to be very tanky, but we're going to be able to fire off these crunches very fast. We're going to shield once here, ends up being the Icy Wind. That's fine. You can see we have a ton of energy. We're going to fire off another Crunch. It does grab that shield, so they really wanted to switch. We're going to allow them to have it. After grabbing both shields, they switch out into their Wiggly. We have the Clodsire for this Wiggly. We're going to have to get to two moves. So we're going to fire off the Earthquake first and look for the farm down. I think Icy Wind does get used, so maybe it's going to be harder to do now. Okay, we do get the farm down. We do have a shield, and we have... Ooh, okay. We're going to have to fire off an Earthquake here against this Clodsire. We have the Dugong come back in. This Dugong here is going to be interesting. We're going to fire off the Hydro Cannon. We're going to fire off another Hydro Cannon right before they get to another move. But it looks like they realize that it's going to be very difficult to get to this Feraligatr, and they decided GG's quit. So we are going to be able to win this game. This Feraligatr is going to be able to take out the Clodsire and the Dugong, because It has a ton of energy now. But more importantly, I think the fact that we were able to grab the shields early helped us close the game. Alright, next game, let's see what we find. Got the Feraligatr versus the Azumarill. This is not bad actually. We are going to be able to apply more pressure with our Shadow Claw fast move. How can it get to use? It does, chip away. It's not super effective, but you can see right there. Considering it's a water type, it's still dealing some decent damage. In fact, we might be able to flip this here. Okay, they decided to shield it actually. So unless we shield, we're not going to be able to win this lead. That's fine. Now we can farm down with our Drapion. Have a ton of energy, so we have the Superior come in. So Superior with against this Drapion with a ton of energy is not really good for them. We're gonna allow the first one to go through. It ends up being the Arrow Ace. We're gonna fire off another Crunch here before they get to another Arrow Ace, and they decide to let it go. That's fine. We see the Talonflame, and this is where the Clodsire is gonna come in and dominate because of the Stone Edge. So GG's to our opponent. Good thing we switched out into the Clodsire with the Stone Edge to have that coverage, and basically they believed that we had Stone Edge. Okay, we got the Feraligatr versus the Gastrodon here. We've had this situation play out. We're going to go for this Hydro Cannon. They can take the first one. Do we want the lead? It looks like we're going to shield once here, and then we're going to make them make a decision. They are going to shield, so they also want potentially. We're going to let this next Body Slam flow through. Let them take us out, and we're going to come back in here with the Drapion and get as much energy as possible. Drapion with some energy seems to be the key right now. We're going to fire off a Aqua Tail. They're just going to tank it. So you got your Flyer, Ground Core here. Gastrodon with the Mandibuzz. And now we see the Clodsire in the back. So we do have the energy advantage. We're going to fire off the Earthquake. No need to bait here because it looks like we are going to be able to reach this next Earthquake before them. So this is going to get the shield or it's going to get the KO. They decided to let it go. It was a 50-50 call right there. And now we're going to be able to tank this Dark Pulse. Okay, we're going to fire off Stone Edge here. This is going to get some good damage or get the shield. We're going to switch out into the Drapion as soon as they use that shield. And now it comes down to shielded correctly and throwing this Aqua Tail immediately. And we should be fine here. So GG's to our opponent. Able to win that game. Thankfully with a ton of energy with the Drapion. So check out this team if you haven't already and let us know if you enjoyed the video.